Why can't Japan solve its population crisis? The answer is straightforward. A rapid recovery in birth numbers is extremely difficult. In 2023, Japan's fertility rate dropped to 1.20. Births totaled just 730,000, while deaths reached 1.59 million. 860,000 people disappear annually. Why is this so critical? This slide explains everything. A fertility rate of 1.20 falls far below the replacement level of roughly 2.07. This gap isn't just numbers. It means generations aren't replacing themselves. 730,000 births against 1.59 million deaths. This gap widens every year. The first half of 2024 showed a 6.3% decline from the previous year. And 2024 is on track to fall below 700,000 for the first time. As the elderly population grows, deaths increase. As younger generations shrink, births decline. This is the reality shown by 3 decades of demographic data. Not speculation. Facts recorded by the Ministry of Health's vital statistics. And this is comprehensible. The numbers tell the story. Follow the graphs, and you'll understand. Now you can grasp the severity of Japan's population crisis. Today, let me show you that data. So why not supplement the population with immigration? Theoretically, possible. But reality differs. Japan's foreign resident ratio stands at roughly 2.9%. This is low compared to OECD member nations. Germany sits at 15.7%, the United States at 15.3%. Why does Japan struggle to accept immigrants? Language barriers. Japanese ranks in the State Department's most difficult category for English speakers. And there's cultural resistance. Japan maintains a strong identity as a homogeneous nation. Preparation for multicultural coexistence is overwhelmingly insufficient. In 2019, the government introduced the Specified Skills System. Initially delayed by the pandemic, it surged to roughly 250,000 by June 2024. The government expanded the 5-year intake target to 820,000. Yet this still can't keep pace with labor shortages. Desperate opening has begun. Still, social acceptance systems haven't caught up. This is Japan's reality. And the most serious problem exists. Aging. Japan's aging rate stands at 29.9%. This places it in the highest tier by UN and other international estimates. Italy sits at 24.1%. Germany at 22.0%. Japan far outpaces other developed nations. And these figures are deteriorating at an accelerating rate. By 2065, it will reach 38.4%. Roughly 1 in 2.6 people will be 65 or older. The speed of aging also exceeded major nations. France took 115 years for the aging rate to reach from 7% to 14%. Germany took 40 years. Japan took just 24 years. What does this mean? Society had no time to adapt. Systems, culture, and economy haven't kept pace with this change. What happens to the pension system? Currently, 2.0 workers support 1 elderly person. But by 2065, 1.3 workers will support 1 elderly person. The burden increases by more than 1.5 times. Pension benefit levels are already being adjusted. The income replacement rate relative to working generation income stands at 61.2% in fiscal 2024. However, it's projected to decline to roughly 50% in the future. The employees' pension insurance premium rate has already reached 18.3% for employers and employees combined. Individual burden is half that amount. Further increases exceed the burden capacity of younger generations. So what happens? The answer is clear. Options to reduce benefits and raise the benefit starting age are under discussion. Encouraging deferred receipt. Further adjustment of benefit levels. This is the future being debated. And even that might not be enough, because the number of workers continues to decline. The system itself faces severe constraints. The economic impact is even more serious. The working age population will decrease from roughly 74 million in 2024 to roughly 45 million by 2065. A roughly 40% decline. This means massive labor force loss. In scenarios where productivity improvement stagnates, potential growth rates are predicted to drop to negative 0.8% annually. If this continues for 40 years, GDP becomes negative 25% compared to current levels. Economic scale shrinks to 3/4. How do companies respond? Reduce domestic investment and relocate overseas. Industrial hollowing out risk increases. Employment is lost. Tax revenue declines. And this vicious cycle is difficult to stop. If the economy shrinks, young people can't have hope for the future. Without hope, they don't have children. Population decline generates economic contraction, and economic contraction accelerates population decline. This is the structural trap Japan faces. So what have policies accomplished? Japan's family-related social spending increased to 2.01% of GDP in fiscal 2020. This approaches the average level of developed nations. France is at 3.5%, Sweden at 3.4%. Certainly, Japan is lower. But the gap is narrowing. The government pledges further doubling. Yet the fertility rate doesn't rise. France's fertility rate is 1.83. Sweden is 1.67. Japan is 1.20. The number of children on daycare waiting lists shows a declining trend in national statistics. The paid leave period and other aspects of the childcare leave system are at high levels internationally. Take-up rates are improving. Yet the fertility rate continues to decline. Why? Because economic support alone is insufficient. Young people feel anxious about the future. Lifetime employment has collapsed. Wages struggle to rise. And there's the most important factor, the atmosphere of society as a whole. Long working hours, uniform career paths, lack of flexibility. These can't be changed by systems alone. It's a cultural issue, and changing culture requires time spanning generations. However, that time margin is rapidly being lost. Now let's organize today's analysis. Here's the summary. First, demographic trends are worsening. The 2023 fertility rate of 1.20 falls far below the replacement level of roughly 2.07, and the annual decline of 860,000 is certain to fall below 700,000 for the first time in 2024. The aging rate of 29.9% will reach 38.4% by 2065, making the social structure itself difficult to maintain. Second, the system faces structural constraints. By 2065, the pension structure will have 1.3 workers supporting one elderly person, and the income replacement rate is projected to decline roughly 20% from current levels. If productivity improvement stagnates, GDP will shrink at negative 0.8% annually to negative 25% from current levels by 2065. With a 40% labor force decline, industrial hollowing out risk is unavoidable. Third, policy effectiveness faces limits. Even raising family-related social spending to 2% of GDP, with the government pledging further doubling, the fertility rate hasn't improved. Even reducing daycare waiting lists, the fertility rate continues to decline. Foreign residents increased to 2.9%, and the government set a new target of 820,000, but cultural resistance and insufficient social acceptance systems limit policy effectiveness. Japan's population crisis has reached a stage where short-term policy reversal is extremely difficult. How will you face this reality? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for joining me on this analysis. This channel analyzes global events from geopolitical and economic perspectives. With facts, not emotions, mechanisms, not opinions, deepening your understanding of the world. Subscribe to the channel and explore the truth of the world together next time. I'll see you in the next deep dive.